The first step to your project is to draw a 6-inch by 9-inch rectangle. This is going to be a smaller version of your completed assignment. This is your plan, a sketch that you will do to plan out how you want your paper divided, how you want your silhouette to look. 6-inch by 9-inch. And in the center of that, you're going to do a contour drawing of your object. And that's going to be the outside. So that's why it's important that whatever you pick, you have an actual object that we can recognize as this is a vase with a flower. And then you're going to draw that in the center, or you decide where you want to put it. I'm going to center mine. There's also a shortcut to doing things that are symmetrical, which vases are, and I can show you how to do that if you have one or have an object that is symmetrical. This is my actual object here. And so I followed that, looked at my lines and set up my object this way. And then I drew my flower on top and did just, again, the contour part of that flower. And it's just a rough, kind of a nice contour, nothing too rough, nothing a little sketchy like that. No going over it, because you can't do that on your good paper. So you've got to get in the habit of actually doing a contour that doesn't have a bunch of excess lines or darkness to it. Once you get that part set up, you're going to then take your lines and you're going to create divisions for your work. You have 5 line types. The horizontal line, vertical. Your diagonal lines can go either direction as long as you're using a ruler. You can have zigzag lines. They can be straight and make a simple equal pattern, or you could do something that changes direction. And then of course your curve, which also does the same. It can change directions as well as go and be a simple wave shape. What I want to encourage you to focus on is not having a center point and every single line pointing to that center, because it'll create a balance issue when you do your work. So you're going to take these lines and you can do them individually or you can do them together, and think about how you're going to place them, because you're going to divide up your space to create your design. Now, last year we did a project, so it's going to be similar to this one. You will not have color. We're going to talk about the shading techniques to put in the background, along with how you want to do your shading on them or coloring them in. Your project is going to be similar to this image here, where you're going to have a silhouette of an object in the middle that can be black, or your silhouette can be white in the middle here. Be careful putting anything on the edge though, because you can have white or you can have black. So then you're going to divide up your space, and this is what I'm talking about, where every single thing is kind of the same. There's no deviation, there's no straight, there's a few zigzags, everything else is kind of curved. Variety creates a stronger composition. So you want to divide up your space using your 5 line types. Once you get that divided up, you may find that you have to go back and do more divisions, and you can start anywhere that you want on that. It can be a single line, or it can be a line that changes into another line and closes in your space to create interest. You could have some lines that come together like this, for example. You could do any kind of lines that you want to divide up your sections. And you're going to do that throughout your whole page, because the more variety you have actually within your lines, then the more variety you have for your spaces. You can decide how you want to do that. You can be very precise with it. You can be more free-handed. I always lean towards my curves. And again, remember, you can do things that go a simple wave. You can do verticals that divide up sections. You could put 2 together and have a pattern in each one. And then each one of these sections is going to have a pattern. And one of the things you may find out is that what you plan here may be a little bit different when you get on such a larger sheet of paper, because an 11 by 14 is very big. There are class sets of these handouts in the room. You are welcome to borrow any of these line designs that are on here. I'm not too concerned yet about you trying to shade things in just yet. I just want you to set it up because the color is an issue, shading sections are an issue, and then you're gonna fill in each one of those sections with a pattern, and you can decide how you want that to look. You can mimic any of these. You can find any more online because they did Zentangles is what they call them now, and it's just a line pattern. So you can look all of that up and however you wish to do that on your space. If you have areas again that are solid, then just you can leave those open. If you're going to do things that have circles, get your compass, which I need for this particular pattern. And then I would fill up this space with a repetitive pattern. Remember, patterns are things that repeat. Then once we get it set up, we'll talk about color, we'll talk about patterns, and again, if you're using circles, use your compass. So divide up, do your 6 by 9 inch paper, divide up using your 5 line types, do your contour drawing first, divide it up, and then in each side, each section, you're gonna have a different pattern for each one.